Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft Access. In this module, I want to show you how you can create a report with calculations in it. So I'm still in the workforce database that I've been in on my other videos, and just to recap what we have here, we've got 3 tables, 2 forms, hours worked with some calculated fields in, which we did last time. A table on projects, it's just 2 projects, and a table of staff, 2 staff. And then you've got a form which has got some conditional formatting on there to flag up whether the hours worked is correct or under or over. And then a projects form where you can create a new project and then allocate the people. So this is where we're at. So what I want to do is start creating a report so I can output in a nice presentable format other than a spreadsheet type format like this the information that I want. So to create a report, you go to the create tab and you've got several options. So if I clicked on the hours work table and then clicked report, it would just generate a report which is almost a copy of the table itself, which I don't really want that. I don't like it, so I'm not saving that. What I am going to do is use the report wizard first of all, just to show you how you can summarize the data through the report wizard. It will pick up these fields. You can select which fields that you want, and do I want all these fields? I'll put all the fields across. I don't really need all these ID fields for this, so let's staff ID. Okay, I will put all the fields across just for this example, and you'll see how it works. So it's going by staff ID. Now, because this is a table, I don't know who that staff is. So what I need to do is create a query that's going to bring the staff name across, so I know what the name is. But for now, I'll just go forward on this. It gives you summary options. Because there's number fields in this table, this box is open. There's quite a lot there, look. Well, I want it to do the percentage of the total, but what actually do I want it to do? I just want it to sum all this stuff. In fact, I don't actually need rate and cost. Plan budget, remaining budgets. Let's try that. We'll go next, go with landscape, and then next. I'll just leave it like that because I'm not going to save this one. I'm just going to show you that this is what you've got available. Now when you use this wizard, you usually end up getting a lot of truncated fields. Now I've said that, and there's only a couple. It's all banged in at the end there. It's not actually seeing the data, but you get an idea of how it all works. And then if I close print preview, it comes into design mode, and then you can see where these fields are squashed up. You have to just widen these. I think there's quite a lot of information squashed at the end there. Microsoft Access has been doing things like this for as long as I can remember. Even though you select all the options not to do this, when you go through the wizard, it still does this, and you end up spending more time fixing it than you would if you just did it yourself. So if I close this, well, if I just have a quick let's go back to well, I'll close it actually. No, I don't want to save it. Right, there it is, even though I didn't want to save it. So that's what it looks like. It's not too bad, to be honest, but I don't really want this. I want to do it myself, and then when you do it yourself, you can filter this out a little bit. So it's giving you the staff ID there, staff ID, and this guy's on 3 contracts, but you don't know who that guy is. So what I need to do is create a query so I can get that name into the query and then do this process again, but then I'll do the process manually. So let's create a query. So what we need is a query design. We need the hours work, and we need the staff. And then let me just have a quick look at that. Did it tell us what the projects were? Yes, it did tell us what the projects were. So, okay, that's alright. So I want staff ID from this table, 1 to many, no, from this table, so staff ID and then name, surname. I want project ID and I want planned hours, actual hours, discrepancy, planned budget remaining. Let's have a quick look at what that looks like. So Steve Saxton, planned hours, discrepancy, okay, call that, I'll save that. So we'll save that as QRY budgets. Okay, you can come back and edit all this stuff. I'm just being fairly rough and ready with this. It's the processes that I'm really trying to explain here. So now I want to create a report based on that, but I am going to do the wizard first and see what that looks like, and then come back and do the thing manually. So take all the fields across. Now how do I want to view my data? Like that. Staff first. Next. Do you want to do any more grouping? Probably no, I don't. Summary options. So we're just going to do sum of everything and a total. Okay. Next. Definitely want it landscape. You see, if I go back there, it says that all the time and it never ever does it. I'll just leave that as TBL. I'll just put an RPT in front of that. RPT. Then I'll go finish. Truncated again. But now we've got Dave Jones, the 2 projects. So that staff ID field I don't really need this. It's repeating itself. Saxton, Saxton, Saxton. So if I close this, you could delete that in design and delete that in design. Have another look, or save this, close that for a minute, and then so that's that one. That's better. All this can move across, so it's just got Steve Saxton, Dave Jones. So these are all spaced out, and really what you need to do there is concatenate these fields in the query, perhaps, or even at this level. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, and then we can truncate all this. And all the titles at the top are squashed up. So let's get rid of that. So now let's do the whole thing again, this time manually. So we're going to create a report design. We have to get the property sheet up, and we have to say where the data is coming from for this property sheet. Record source is going to be that one. Sorry, it's not going to be that one, it's going to be query budgets. Yeah. And then once you do that, you can then get the fields. So I want to add some group in here, so if I click on group and sort, we want to, in the group, we've got group and sort, so we're adding a group. We want staff ID, I think, and staff ID header. So then we're going to bring into there not first name, surname. I'm going to concatenate that. So concatenate is you need an AB box. You can get rid of the label in a minute. So in there you want to be going equals first name in square brackets, and then you need a concatenate symbol, which is the and sign, and then you need a text space, a text string space, and then another concatenate symbol, and then surname, like so. Get rid of that label, and you can also get rid of all the formatting around the boxes. Let's just move that to there. So we need to make sure that we are looking at this. Let's get to the right place. Where am I? I want to view this. Home, view. Doesn't matter which view I go for. So you see what I mean? I get the box around that, but there's no big gap. If I go back into design, so that box is under properties, so I'd have to get into properties and format the properties for this. So it's back styles, normal, background 1, basically you want to make this line. I want the line style, actually border style, solid line style, that one, transparent. Let's have a look at that. Gone, good, that's what I want. So we've got that at the top there, and then we can go to format and make it bold, change the color and stuff like that, and then just bring that up a little bit, and then you can come back into this and sort all this out. So back to the fields. So if we go back into design, we want all the fields up. So what else do we need? Planned hours or project ID. Now this could cause a problem here. Now if I bring project ID in, is that going to show me the project? Yes, it does. That's great. Not just the ID number. It must be. I must have set that up in the table. So now we've got a project that we can put there. Again, you've got the same issue with the border. So we want to get rid of border style solid. That wants to be transparent, and that definitely needs to be formatted to be slightly bigger, bold. I won't make it red, I'll make it dark blue. And then have a look at that. So big gap there, so we need to bring that in. That's the this space here. So we've got the project. Now have a look at that. So now Steve Saxton, Dave Jones, the 3 projects. So now we need to do some other fields. Let's get the other fields in there. So what do we want? We want planned hours. Now this is where we've got to be careful here, because that's just going to put planned hours 3 times, and maybe I want to summarize that actually. So these are all different projects, so I've not grouped by project. So if I come back, design, let's go into do add a footer at the bottom, with header section, with footer section. So we've got a staff ID footer. So if we go into there and have a look, it's now giving the total of all those hours, planned hours, 10. So if we go back to the table and we want HMRC planned 24 for Steve, and that was just 24 Saxton, 24 and 25. So let's just put the 25 in there. So that's not working how we want it, so let's have a go back in there. So what we need to do there is do the sum function. So get rid of that and do a formula, which is another AB box. So we want sum of planned hours, so equals sum, open bracket, planned hours, no spaces, close the sum. Let's have a look. So that's added everything up, all the hours including the Bank of England one, 69. So that's what I want, all the planned hours. So this is how we're going to do it. So that now needs to say total planned hours, and then we need to just move this across a little bit, and we do the same thing for the rest of it. So we push that up to the top and have a look. We don't want the box around it. Total planned hours 69, so we get rid of the box. Then we'll come back to our fields. Now we want actual hours, so we'll do the same thing again. AB, draw another box, and we're going equals sum, open bracket, actual hours, close square bracket, close normal bracket, have a look, 90. So this is actual hours, back in there, label, actual hours, and we take the box off that one, transparent, make a bit more space. Let's have a look. So planned hours, actual hours, planned hours, actual hours. So then we're going back into it to do the discrepancy. So that's the field there, discrepancy. So same thing for that, AB button, draw equals sum, open normal bracket, square bracket, and then you type in discrepancy, square bracket, close normal bracket. Have a look. Get rid of the box, do the label. So you can see it's pretty similar. Once you've done this sort of stuff, it's pretty similar. And this is just going to be the label. Have a look. Total planned hours, actual hours, discrepancy 21 hours. Now then, so we've done that, we're happy with that. What we need to do now is look at the summary. So we've got a footer there, but I want a report footer, so I'm just going to right click on there. Now if you put any of these formulas in the report, so if I copy that, for example, copy and paste it down the bottom there, and then just move it over to the same sort of space, when you put it into the report, that gives you a total planned hours 109, so 40 and 69, so that gives you total planned hours. And then if you do the same for all the others, so if I copy, highlight them both, copy and put them in there, and then just move them as a pair. So total planned hours, total planned project hours, let's do that one, and you can change all the other labels. Just need to move this back a bit, and then you move all these back to be in the same alignment, because that's just banging into the text box, like so. And then move that. Did I move that together? I didn't mean to. Okay, what's happening here? Should be able to move these separately. That's it. Right, and then just push that up a little bit, and you can do any colouring in you need to do, any formatting. But now what you should have is summary at the bottom there. So we're not that far off actually, -6 hours altogether on our projects. It's probably better to just bring these down a little bit so there is a bit of a gap, like so. Just so there's a gap between that and the last one, and you can put a label there if you want to summarize this. So this is a label, company results, company stats, let's put that there. So you're just typing that in there, company stats. Then you can make that however you want it, to make it bold, change the font, change the colour, center it, have a look. So that's the company stats. Now in terms of the planned budget field, if we have a look at this, so we've got this planning budget and the remaining, these are two calculated fields. These are going to go, if I close that down, these would go in here. So we haven't got any figures at all there. Let's see where we can put these. If we go back into report design and go for planned budget, so first of all I'll put it there in the detail. Let's see what happens when they do that. Again, it gives you one for each line, so that's the same as this. So I could put that there, 2,500 and 4.8. So if I have a quick look at that, 2,500 planned budget, 2,500 and 4.8. That's the two there. So I really want those adding up. So let's put that in the same area as this area. So if I go back into there, so I don't want that there. So I want planned budget. Let's put it there and see what that looks like. See if it's adding that up. It's not adding that up. So what we need to do is exactly the same as what we've done there. So let's go back into this, and we just get in there and put equals sum, and then put a square bracket around that, which is a little bit more difficult. Square bracket, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, 11,300 is correct because I can't read my own database, so it's by name, not by project. So when I add these up, Saxton 4,800, and then you've got these two at the bottom, 4,000, 8,800, 10,800, 11,300. So that's correct. So that's correct, but it's not formatted right. It was correct the first time as well, so this is going to be a label of planned budget. Planned budget. Then you need to sort of move that across out of the way of that one, and then move it up a little bit because I knocked that off, and then push the whole thing up to the top. Planned budget, and then you're doing the same for remaining. So just to show you that what I did the first time should work, because if I get myself into there and just go equals sum, square bracket, remaining, square bracket, close. Okay, so okay, that's because I wasn't watching what I was typing, but I should have just been able to put the sum in front of that and it would have worked. Get this little green arrow though, which is a bit disconcerting, so you might want to just check that. -3.7 altogether. Yeah, 2.5.3.7. That's it. So we know it's working. You've got to come back and check these figures. You need to get rid of these boxes. So just click on them both. Go up to the property sheet. Put them back to transparent. And have a look. So the numbers aren't sitting right. So we need to. This box is what when the alignment is in the box, so your boxes need to be the same size. That was well done because they're still selected. And then you probably need to go to format and left align both of these. And then let's have a look again, see what that looks like. It looks about a planned budget. Now they're not formatted to pounds, so we need to go back in there and format them to pounds. Just highlight them both, and they need to be format at the top to currency. Have a look. So planned budget, total planned hours, actual hours, discrepancy to 21. That's costing you that on the budgets on the projects he's been on. So the projects. So this is a report based by consultant, say. You could equally do another report based by project. So all the HMRC projects, and it's the same sort of process. But this is just a quick look at how to do reports yourself, and you can either run the wizard or you can do it yourself, and I always prefer to do it myself, and you would have to tidy this up. So up the top there you would have a report label, and we call this consultant stats, for example. and then you click away. You want to change the format of that. Let's make that quite big, center it, make it bold, colour it in, and then have a look. Consultant stats. Here you go. And that's how you do that. So hopefully that was of use, and thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.